This is my thoughts on Mullen stock. That I got invested in it in probably about September 2022. I've been playing around with Robinhood for a while. I kind of, I just like investing in various things. I've made money, lost money, like everybody else. I'm probably not the best at it, but it's been really fun. I'm not the type of guy that sits and stares at charts, technicals, all that stuff. That's what I have YouTube personalities for. They provide me with plenty of that. What I like to invest in is fads. I look around me, and when I see something that looks interesting in my travels, which I see a lot of, I'll try to identify who makes it, or who owns it, or who's using it or doing it, and then I'll look at that company up, see if they're publicly traded, and look that up. If the stock price is where I think I can afford it, I'll grab some of it and see what happens. So that's just how I invest. So don't take me as a financial advisor. I'm sure as hell not one. And whatever you invest in, just figure out how to do it yourself and make sure you look it up for yourself. But saying that, electric cars, EVs, are what I would consider a fad. Now, off the record, do I think EVs have a future in the United States or in the world? Yeah, probably. A small one, but it's going to trickle up incredibly slowly. Because let's face it, they just don't have the infrastructure to handle widespread. It's just not even the charging ports themselves, but the fact that the cars are so expensive that the average person's really kind of priced out of them. So, but I do think in the short term they're basically the new Mercedes or the new BMW. People just want to buy them because they know they're expensive, and it's nothing but a showpiece. And then on top of it, they get to claim that they're helping the environment, being green, because that's a meme. We all know this. These people have way more money than they have sense, or they're just crappy at using credit, and they've got good credit, and they're buying up these cars. Now, I'm going to give you an example. I drive a truck, as you can probably see, and I left out of Miami this morning, and in a span of about an hour, in a 70-mile, basically between Miami and I'm almost a little bit south of Orlando, I've counted so far right around 70 EVs of various makes and models, mostly Teslas. I even saw one Lucid, but I've counted a couple. I saw a couple others that you can identify. Definitely is an EV. So there's a lot of EVs out there. In fact, there was at least 5 or 6 of them back there at that what is it? A rest area I just passed that has charging ports, and there was about 5 or 6 of them sitting there charging up. And our EVs are going to be good if you live in a bigger city where you're not driving 300 miles a day, where you're just going back and forth to work. I'd say they're probably pretty nice. But for long distance traveling, I mean, God knows where they fully charge where they left from, but there they are sitting. And I'm about, like I said, about a little bit under, about 50 or 60 miles south of Orlando. So Miami and Orlando are roughly about 200 miles apart. So that's about as far as they got. So let's assume they left Orlando or left Miami this morning. They're already charging. Where if you had a gas car, you could easily make it from Miami all the way, probably well into North Florida. So having said that, it's a fad. It's nothing but a see-me phenomenon, and it's going to continue to be that for a long time. So that's why I don't have any faith in that Mullen 5. The Mullen 5, it's probably a nice car, but it's probably no nicer or no better than any other ones. Lucid, Tesla, Rivian, and there's probably other ones. Any of the ones that are being made by, I saw a commercial for Mercedes, another one for Audi the other night, and then of course you got Chevy's putting one out, Ford puts one out, Toyota's putting one out, the list goes on and on. Now, I'll admit to you that probably about 3 or 4 months ago, I went all in on Mullen. Now, why did I go all in? Well, I think, and this is my own opinion, that those vans and the trucks, that's where the money is. Because if you're in a city situation and you're utilizing that kind of vehicle, and if you ever owned a truck or spent most of your life in transportation, you'll realize that fuel is one of your hugest, greatest expenses. It's a massive expense next to payroll. It's your biggest one. When I owned my own truck, I spent, my God, $1,500 a week in fuel, and that's back when it was cheaper. So if you're driving around in one of these things, and that's what you're depending on every day, well, electric's going to look very, 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 very appealing. Because yeah, other than the fact that you've got the charging throughout the day problem, but that could be, and if Lawrence is right, and if Lawrence's thing is what he says it is, well, that's going to solve a lot of that. And then they can probably figure out how to schedule like a driver taking a lunch break and charging his vehicle during that. So the logistics of it could be probably solved. And I would imagine that if those things take off, if I owned a small fleet of trucks, or I depended on vans, like I was an electric company and I had my guys going out to various jobs within a metropolitan area, hell yeah, I'd buy electric vehicles. It would be insanely cheaper to operate them. Same thing with those little trucks. And if they branch out into a little bit bigger trucks, then that, like I said, that's where the money's at. But we're not there yet. And Mullen's the only one so far that's really delved into it. And so I think we need to give them a chance to basically come up with product and sales. They've only sold so far, they've only cut a deal with one distributor in one state. I mean, what about the rest of the states? I mean, they haven't even, it's not even been there yet. Give it time. I think this one's just going to have to cook. I think what's going to happen is one day, you know, you're going to wake up and you've won the lottery if you hold. If you don't feel comfortable holding, then wait for the next green day and sell off and get out of it. But sitting here worrying to death about it every other day, it ain't going to help none of you. I mean, that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's your choices. Just wait for a green day and get out. You know, go on to something else. There's plenty of other stocks. Or, you know, hey, let's be patient and wait. I think this is just where the stock's going to end up going. And if it does go bankrupt, hell, man, at least you can harvest that for your next tax year. So, and once again, I'm not a financial genius. I'm really not. I just want everybody to know that, but I'm trying to, you know, kind of help, not really help, but encourage fellow investors. I belong to a lot of groups, and there's a lot of you that make content. Business Dad, I like listening to your stuff. I listen to your stuff every morning. Financial Journey, you're pretty good too. You're really spot on the text. I'll give you that. But I'm just trying to give encouragement of what's possibly ahead, and that's what I'm going to do. If anybody wants to know, I'm just going to sit on the crap and not even look at it no more, because I think I'm going to wake up one day and I think those vans, I'm pretty sure those vans and those trucks are where the money is, and that's just because I've been in transportation all my life, and I kind of have an idea. And there's a lot of those vans. People utilize vans and those small trucks. My God, Miami's plumb full of them. I mean, you can't go 5 seconds without seeing one. And I'm also going to say that Dragonfly, even though I think there's some stipulations, that Dragonfly might pop off too, because that's another thing that floats around some of these bigger cities, especially Miami, is sports cars. And if we can merge sports cars with what's the word for it? The whole green meme. Well, look at that. I can see those things running around. And they're not going to probably sell as well as the vans, but because who's going to be able to afford them? It's like buying a Corvette. Not everybody can afford a Corvette. I'd love to have a Corvette, but I can't get one. But that's just my opinion on it, and I hope this helps everybody. And once again, it's not financial advice. So, peace. Have a good day.